Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to sit down and do the bronzer tag for you guys. So Samantha March and Hourglass made up a video back in the summer, and it was the eyeshadow palette tag, and it was answering all sorts of different questions about your eyeshadow palettes. And since then, people have taken that video idea and turned it into answering the same sort of questions about your blushes and your bronzers. I actually saw Samantha March do both bronzers and blush, so I'll go ahead and leave her bronzer video linked down below in case you want to check it out. I've already done the blush tag video and it was so much fun. I said it in that video and I'll say it in this one. I love these types of tags or challenge videos that have you just really take a deep dive and look at your collection. I love makeup so much, so anytime that I can just sit down, sift through my makeup, think about what I love, what I don't, all of that, I just think it is so much fun. Don't forget that I upload every Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sunday for you guys. And yeah, if you are interested in hearing all my answers to the bronzer tag, then let's go ahead and get started. So starting off with the newest bronzer in your collection, and that is the Cover FX Bronzer Drops. They sent this over in a PR package a couple weeks ago, and I've used this a couple times, and I absolutely love these. They are so great. The tone is really nice for my fair skin, and they blend in like a dream. Literally, I just put a few dots on my cheek, take my brush, stipple it in, and 2 seconds later, it's blended in and lasts all day long, is beautiful on the skin. I am head over heels in love with these. I do not think I would have purchased these on my own, so I am so glad that they sent them over and I got a chance to try them, because now I can tell you guys how amazing they are. And I'm loving these. And yeah, they're my newest. I got them maybe 2 weeks ago or so. The next question is, what is the oldest bronzer in your collection? And that is this little baby Benefit Hoola bronzer. I have hit pan on this. I really do like this bronzer. I have to be careful. Sometimes it's a little deep for me, but I really do like it. And I think I got this in like the summer of 2018. So it's like 2.5 years old almost. And yeah, it's a powder bronzer, so I'm gonna keep it until I use it up. I don't think powders really go bad, so I'm gonna keep it. But yeah, this is my oldest. It's like 2.5 years old. Then my most expensive bronzer, and that is definitely my Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze, and I have the shade Tantastic. The pan is massive, but it's also $49. So that's a lot of money for a bronzer. But I did end up getting mine on sale at the Sephora sale back in April, I believe it was. So I got 20% off of it. So I didn't pay $49, but still, this retails for $49. And even though it is massive, it's literally as big as my face, that's still a lot of money. So definitely my most expensive bronzer. Flipping it to my most affordable bronzer, and that is my Colourpop Coconut Beach Press Powder Bronzer. This retails for $8, and actually it's on sale a lot of the times. I really do like this bronzer. I do not reach for it as much as I should, but I do like it, and it is my cheapest bronzer, my most affordable, I hate saying cheapest, my most affordable bronzer in my collection. Next, we have your everyday bronzer, and this is probably not going to be a surprise to anyone. It is the Maybelline City Bronzer. I love this bronzer. I'm not going to harp on it because I feel like every time I talk about it, I just go on and on how much I love it. But it's just amazing. It's like the best shade I feel like I found for my skin tone, so that's why it's a good everyday bronzer. I can just throw it on with whatever look, whatever outfit, and I know that it'll look good. So yes, this is my everyday bronzer. Next, we have a bronzer that surprised you, and for this one, I went ahead and chose my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It Bronzer. I picked this one because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I picked this up at Ulta when I was shopping with my friend Kat a couple months ago, and she was like, Emily, you know what? I really love this bronzer. It is beautiful. I've been through one complete one. Look how big this pan is. And she said she went through one whole one, and I was thinking in my mind, wow. Like, if you go through this whole bronzer, you must really love it. So I was like, okay, I'll pick it up. And it has like a little bit of a sheen to it, and I just had never tried really a bronzer with a sheen to it, so I just wasn't expecting to love it. I just wasn't, and I love this bronzer so much. Every time I use it, it is absolutely stunning on the skin. It does have a sheen to it, so it gives you that just nice, healthy glow to your skin without being too shiny or glittery or anything like that. It's not anything like that. It's just sheeny and healthy and glowy. The shade is a really good shade for my fair skin. I have the lightest one. It's just 01 Light. I think it comes in 3 shades, but it knocked me off my feet and I wasn't expecting it to. So definitely the one that surprised me the most. The next question is, what is your best memory with a bronzer? And I chose the Clove & Hollow bronzer. I have the shade Cabo, and I chose this because Clove & Hollow was one of the first brands that ever really reached out to me and wanted to send me makeup. I feel like when I started my Instagram page about 2.5 years ago or so, for the first couple months, I didn't really have anyone reaching out, which makes sense. You're growing your page, you're getting used to it, you're growing your following, all of that. And then when I did start having brands reach out to me for PR, it was a lot of the time skincare brands, which I was fine with. I love skincare just as much as makeup. But then Clove & Hollow reached out to me, and this was one of the first items that they sent me. Since then, I've been really, really lucky, and they've sent me a bunch of other products. I am now an affiliate with them, and this is just a really good memory because it was one of the first brands that kind of like took a chance on me and wanted to send me products and then asked me to be a part of their affiliate program. And I just really hadn't had that before Clove & Hollow did that. And so every time I use this bronzer, I just remember the excitement I felt when they reached out to me, thinking like, oh my gosh, like finally a makeup brand wants to send me makeup. And I just was so happy and so excited. And this is one of my favorite bronzers. I really genuinely love this bronzer. It takes some building. It's not like super pigmented right off the bat. You do have to build it on your cheeks, but this shade is stunning. It lasts all day on the skin, and I love this bronzer, and it holds a special place in my heart. Next is, what is a bronzer that you think is worth the hype? And I went ahead and chose the Fenty Cream Bronzer. I love this. It is super hyped up. I feel like everyone talks about it and everyone usually likes it and has good things to say, and I'm one of those people. I think it's awesome. I have the shade Butter Biscuit. It is so good for my fair skin. They have, I think, 8 or 9 shades, so you'll be able to find one in your skin tone. I feel like I'm just like a broken record when I talk about this bronzer because I say the same things every single time, but it is sheer but buildable, blends out nicely. It's really, really great for beginners. If you are someone who is kind of on the fence about cream bronzers and you're like, I don't like cream products, I don't know how I'll, get along with this, I think you'd really, really like this. It is very beginner friendly because it blends out so nicely. It lasts all day on the skin, and it is sheer but buildable. So when you put it on, it's not going to be like bronzer, like you have to build it up a little bit, which is nice for beginners. And if you're not a beginner, I don't really consider myself a beginner with makeup, but I still love this bronzer, and I definitely think it's worth the hype it gets. One I don't really think is worth the hype isn't one that really gets hype now, but I feel like a couple years ago it got a lot of hype, and that is the Balm Bahama Mama bronzer. I don't dislike this bronzer at all. I don't. I had a couple people on my Instagram page recommend it to me, so when the Balm was having a sale like a year and a half ago, I've had this for a while, I went ahead and picked it up, and you can tell like it's been used, it's been well loved. I do like this bronzer, but it's just not one of my favorites, and I don't really reach for it very often. It's kind of dark for my skin tone, and it's fairly pigmented, so I have to remember to go in with a light hand and not go overboard and apply too much. I do reach for this, I do use it, and like I said, it doesn't really get hype now, but it used to, and I don't know, it's just not my favorite. I don't really think it's worth the hype that it maybe used to get. Next, we have favorite bronzer from a favorite brand, and I'm back to Fenty, but with their powder bronzer this time. I have the shade In the Sun. If you can tell, I have like the babyest little pan on this bronzer, and when I saw that, I was like sad and excited at the same time. Like, oh my gosh, I hit pan, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I hit pan, it's almost gone, which it's not almost gone. Obviously, when you hit pan, you still have a ton of product left, but I absolutely love this powder bronzer so much, and I really genuinely love Fenty. I've tried quite a bit from the brand, I feel like, and I've liked almost everything I've tried by them. So I definitely would consider them one of my favorite brands. I don't know if I would say they're my absolute top favorite. I don't think I really have a top favorite brand, but I genuinely love Fenty, and I genuinely love this powder bronzer. It's great. It's another one just like their cream bronzer that they have a ton of different shades, so you'll be able to find whatever one matches your skin tone the best. In the Sun is the one that matches me. Also, like the cream one, it takes a little bit of building. It is not super pigmented right off the bat, but when you build it up, it's stunning on the cheeks and lasts all day, and I love it. The next question is, what is the most underrated bronzer? And I went ahead and chose my Tarte Creamy, I never know what this is called, Barisi Cream Bronzer, and I have the shade Seychelles, also another thing I can never say. But I really like this cream bronzer. I feel like I haven't seen too many people talk about it. Really, the only big YouTuber I've seen talk about it is Kelly Strack, but other than that, I haven't seen a whole lot of people give this love, and it is a really good cream bronzer. It's a little bit more pigmented than the Fenty one right off the bat, but it also blends out really nicely and lasts a long time on the skin. This is the lightest shade. I believe there's 3. But yeah, I don't really see this one get a lot of love or get talked about too much, and it is a really awesome cream bronzer. This is just the mini size. They have this in the full size, but I knew I would never go through the full size, so I picked up the mini, but this will still last you forever. And yeah, if you are on the fence or you haven't really heard about it and you want a good cream bronzer, highly recommend this one. And then the last question is a bronzer that maybe just isn't your best shade, but you keep it around because you love it anyways. And I wouldn't really say that this isn't like a good shade for me. It's just one I don't really reach for very much, but I will never get rid of it. And it is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. Again, I just picked up the mini of this. I just really don't reach for this as much as I thought I was going to. I was so excited to buy this. I got it, I believe, with Sephora gift cards a couple months back, and I really have only reached for this a couple times. And I'm not sure if I don't reach for it because it's a mini and it's so small, but my brush fits fine in here. I don't know. I don't know why I don't reach for this, honestly, but I need to start reaching for it more often. But I'll never get rid of it because it's Hourglass and it was expensive. Even with it being the mini, it was pretty expensive, and it is pretty on the skin. I usually like it when I use it, but I don't know. I just need to reach for this more, but I'm definitely not going to get rid of it. And that was it, you guys. That was all of my answers to the bronzer collection tag video, I guess. I don't really know exactly what to call this, but I had so much fun looking through my bronzers, trying to think about which ones I wanted to pick for which question. I was really glad I was able to pick a different bronzer for each category. And my blush one, I had to repeat a blush, and I was like, no, not that it's a big deal, but still, I was bummed. But yeah, I was excited that I could pick a different one for each category. I hope this was fun for you to watch. Let me know down below in the comments what maybe your favorite bronzer is, your least favorite. Answer any of the questions with your answers, because I would love to know what your guys' answers are to the bronzer tag questions. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.